Hello, my amazing first grade artists. Today we are going to be talking about the element of art line, and we are going to use that element of art to create some cool implied textures. Texture is another one of our elements of art. We are going to be implying it today in our fabulous texture monsters. We are going to be creating this right in Seesaw. You can draw on paper and then upload your pictures. I can't wait to see what you create. We are going to create our texture monsters. To start our texture monsters, you need to pick a shape for your texture monster's body to be. Your shape could be a square, a rectangle, a circle, an oval, a heart. Whatever shape you can think of, your texture monster can be that shape. I recommend, as we're drawing on paper, that you start with a pencil. I think I'm going to make my texture monster be the shape of an oval for its body. Now, my tip is to draw light until you get it right, because that makes it easier to erase. And then when you are done, you can go darker or trace with marker. Inside of my body, my texture monster needs a face. I'm going to repeat a shape for his eyes, his nose, maybe some eyebrows, and maybe some teeth. What kind of shape would be good for some eyes? Those are all great ideas. I think I'm going to go with some ovals. I'm going to start with 2 ovals. Then inside of my ovals, I'm going to make smaller ovals that's bottom edge touches the edge of the big oval. I think my monster should have a nose. What kind of shape could I use for my monster's nose? That's another awesome idea. I think I'm going to go with a triangle. I'm going to make some skinny triangles for my monster's eyebrows. Now, to make my monster's mouth, I'm going to start with a line that shows the expression that my monster has. There's so many emotions that we can have. I think my monster is going to be kind of shy, so he's going to have just a slight curved line for his mouth. Maybe I'll give him a dimple. Then I think it would be fun to use some more triangles for my monster's teeth. I'm going to have the triangles share an edge with a line for my smile. Now, it's helpful for monsters to have some arms or legs that they can move with. You can decide how many arms or legs you want your monster to have. A great way to make a limb or a body part that extends from our body is to repeat a pair of lines, to repeat 2 lines. So for my monster's legs, I'm going to repeat 2 wavy lines, and then I'm going to connect them on the bottom. Again, repeating some wavy lines and connecting them on the bottom. I could repeat some shapes to give it some toenails. Maybe I give it 3 ovals for toenails. Now, my monster kind of needs some arms. I could pick a different shape, or maybe a pair of lines to be my monster's arms. Maybe I do a curly line for his arms, and repeat a second one. Maybe the other arm is curling down, and repeating a second one to close that shape. Now my monster's got arms, it's got legs. I could decide to add other details. Maybe my monster has some horns. Make your monster your own. Feel free to get creative with the details that you add. Once you've got a fabulous monster, we can go darker with marker. Because my marker is permanent, I'm going to use this sheet below my paper so that my paper and my marker doesn't go on the table. That is a good idea for you to do at home as well. So I'm going to trace over the lines that I had drawn. One thing that might be a good idea if you went over it with marker is to, before using any other materials, come in with an eraser and erase the pencil lines that you don't need. Next, we are going to repeat some lines in each of the areas of our monster. I would like you to pick a different line for each type of area. So I'm going to pick a line for the body of my monster. When we repeat a line over and over again, it becomes a pattern and it can imply a texture. So if I repeat a bumpy line in my monster's body, it could imply that my monster maybe has scales or bumps on its body. Alrighty. Next, I'm going to pick a line for my monster's horns. On my monster's horns, I think I'm going to repeat a slightly curved line to create a new kind of implied texture. Now I'm going to repeat a line on its legs. I might use the same curvy line on its legs. What kind of texture do you think that makes? Now I need a couple more sets of lines because I have some arms, I have a nose, and some eyebrows, and I might want to repeat a different kind of line in each of those areas too. You can pick your own marks to repeat either lines or shapes to imply textures on your monster. When you are all done working with the crayons to add textures to your monster, I would love it if you could create a background, a place for your monster to be. I'm going to let you make that however you would like it to be. Make sure that you're taking your time to fill it in with beautiful color.